The Ukrainian surprise offensive in Kursk has reached its apex, with advances up to 22 kilometers into Russian territory. The advance is a narrow front advance, creating a salient that requires defense along its entire length. Ukrainian units aim to avoid advancing too far from their logistic bases and communication lines. The deeper Ukrainian forces advance, the longer supply lines become, and the more vulnerable they will be to attack. The onset of the Rasputitsa, the mud season due to fall rains, makes movement, including supplies, much more difficult for both Russia and Ukraine. Russia has a slight advantage as it can use its road network more effectively to move forces closer to the front. The timing of the offensive is also a reason for speculation. The Ukrainian armed forces can operate in the Kursk oblast for a few more weeks while the Russians gather their forces to counterattack. The Ukraine forces then start a phased withdrawal, maintaining good order of their forces back to the international border and being back or just forward of the international border prior to the onset of the Rasputitsa. This implies that Ukraine has the upper hand in either scenario, even though Russia has not stopped its Donbass campaign. The ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine requires the maintaining public support. Russia has avoided general mobilization and conscript drafting due to unpopularity with the Russian population, leading to the abandonment of the plan. The result is the Russian public has been largely shielded from the war. The war in the Kursk region, and to a lesser extent the Belgorod region, has changed that, with the capture of many prisoners around Kursk being conscripts. This can potentially weaken Russian popular support for the war. To fully capitalize on the societal impact of the Kursk offensive, Ukraine must ensure the well-being and humane treatment of Russian conscript POWs. The Ukrainian population is showing signs of war fatigue, with 44% willing to negotiate with Russia to end the war. The Kursk operation boosts the Ukrainian population's morale and ensures the lingering benefits of the offensive stay with the population over a longer period. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky is apparently attempting to persuade the Russian government to join peace talks tentatively scheduled for November, and may be using the offensive as leverage as well. Russia's initial reaction suggests that the Kursk operation has backfired, as it ended the Qatar-limited ceasefire negotiations over the Kursk offensive. But Belarus and China are attempting to push forward peace talks, with Belarus creating an anti-Western common cause and China offering financial help under the Belt and Road Initiative to Ukraine to incentivize them for China's peace talks. And the Western sanctions are impacting China's trade with Russia, which is a concern for both China and Russia, as China pushes its own peace plan.